It's become very obvious to me that I like to analyze. I don't want to be egotistic about it, but I like to say, hey, this is what I like to doing. I like to doing. I like to do. I am slightly inebriated, primarily because a couple of pints in a public bar. Again, those who've seen my health videos know occasionally I like to drink on a Thursday, some pints, and opens up conversation. Some very fascinating people. Daytime drinking, way more interesting than the nightlife in the UK. Nightlife, people are just trying to outdo each other, get more pissed than the next person. Absolutely ridiculous. And can't hear each other talk that much. So, this individual, I think, probably looking for something different. Conversation hit compliments towards me here and there. I want to do a separate video on this because I went through some self delusion, I think, in being way too egotistic, which is one of the reasons why I talk about egotism quite often here and there, warning people don't do it, you know. At the same time, ego will never go away. Learn what it is so that you don't have to busy yourself trying to crush it. You will never ever be able to crush it. It's not who you are. The ego is created out of creative thinking, and we delude ourselves we are that. Do that to the extreme of the charts exponentially, then you got narcissistic personality disorder, which prefers that they are this fictional self that they deliberately put effort into to creating, rather than being who you really are. Who are you really? An individual trying to make ends meet, trying to improve yourself as best you can with the tools you got, as humbly as you can, but even underneath that, who you are. Consciousness, you just experience, and the consciousness plays with these different things to build a character which is based in ego. It's just everything that we build out our character is somewhat associated with ego. That's not a bad thing because they're all actors on a big stage. A lot of the expression that is delivered via the persona that we create is a good thing because we're using it as a medium to deliver information from the consciousness, playing with all the thought processes in our brains, in our minds. At the bottom line, though, is don't fool yourself into thinking you are specifically a particular thing, crystallized, because you're never that one thing. If you attach yourself like crystallizing stone that you are this whole bigger picture, you may be true that like there's little trinkets here and there, you're very much like this or like that because of the responses you have to the default ways in which you are. But even under that, again, you just raw consciousness. But the default ways is one thing, and the effort, extreme effort to maintain a fantasy of a particular image is another thing. And I don't know, I think people look for their fantasies of an ideal in other people while they try to create it in themselves. Ergo, so-called role models, but when we're looking at a role model, we're cherry picking, which means a role model is not something we're really, there's no truth necessarily in a role model. Just try to be the better person than you was yesterday. And it can easily go straight to your head when people are going, You're a fascinating person. Had that today. You're a great guy. Had that today. This and that. Until the last half hour of the conversation, you don't know what I've been through. Well, you don't know what I've been through. And I said certain things about family members I hate, and they went, oh, just like that. They flicked that as if I was accusing them of being the same. I was actually warning them, be careful, don't do this and that, because I've seen it with my own family. I didn't say they were this and that. But then they lied to me by saying, no, I know you weren't saying this and that. We do a separate video, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe. People fascinate me because I see the nuances of myself in other people, and I've always wanted to correct that. Be humble and be honest about self-improvement. The way to do it is be humble and be honest, I guess. I don't know what else to say right now, but my own detriment is fascination with subjects outside of the box. Why do we do what we do rather than moaning about what we do? The deeper level of things, the theories on the existence of the universe, the theories of what's it called? Simulation. Is the reality of simulation? There's no way for us to know, so therefore why does it matter? But at the same time, it's a fascinating subject. All these multiple subjects, I'll talk about anything to anyone, anywhere, anytime, providing they're able to talk about it. And slightly inebriated today with conversation, and yet I thought it would be me that would get awkward in a conversation because I've had a few to drink. It was the other person, and they started saying things that to me point towards alcoholism from that person, and I said be careful, this and that. As soon as I started warning them, I had the emotional response, no, this is good for me, this is the only two. This person didn't say word for word, but they may as well said, I find company in drink. You even want the dopamine raise in your brain from enjoyable conversation, or just from the drink while pretending to be important to have the conversation, which he was moaning at about his ex for being in a detention hall. Sometimes detention halls will excessively praise the listener, say, oh, you're great, you're this and that, you're the mediator. I had all that. Looking back, I'm thinking, is that what's going on here? Anyone being flannelled, egotistic praise, you're amazing, this and that, they latch on. Oh, thank you. You know, I appreciate the praise, but I don't see myself that way, but appreciate this and that. So everyone loves that. I love that. If it's genuine, if it's not, if it's out of a neediness for attention, then you got a problem. So looking back on today's conversation, I think, yeah, there's a problem there. Nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about, but this is a video blog. Some people might get what I'm going on about, though, because I think you've been there. Very interesting small world. This individual apparently did some work with an individual who's the father of somebody I work with, or they like to network. Getting a bit paranoid here, and drink can do that to you. I think it's just they like to express themselves here and this, and it's a relatively small community. You get around enough, you're going in life at all, you're always going to meet somebody who knows somebody who you work with, or vice versa, or whatever. Thing is, the person I work with is like a once removed cousin. I found out who is related to me, but their father, this person was talking about, who's partially sighted, and this person who talked about, I was doing a partially sighted experiment with that person. So I don't know if this person's like kind of, they want to know more about me via bullshit, paranoia. I think that is leaning towards. I'm leaning way more towards this person's got issues. It's a small world, though. The more people you meet, the more you're going to get associations, coincidences, and who knows who. It's going to seem like the world's shrinking more and more. Keep that in mind, because it's what happens. It's always used to happen. Before I was going through some bullshit, I'm back, as Jerry Woodward, thank you Jerry, said word for word. Whoa, you're back. What do you mean? Got the old you back. Watch this space. Even though it seems strung out with me promising the website's coming soon, this is coming soon, I'm doing this and that. That's what it feels like for me. It's still strung out. Because I want it just like that. I want it all immediately. Have a look at BABBT. There's some interesting stuff to come. Hopefully, if I can do it. If I can't, oh, it don't matter. But this healthier me is going to continue to progress. And fuck any anxiety that might come in the way, that has in the past. Fuck any detriment, any bullshit might come my way. Anybody who wants to tread on that. Because if you pretend to be superior, I already know you're not. So why would I be bothered? That goes for people online as well as in person. Again, I might get into that conversation what I had. If not, I look forward to doing the next video. Cheers. Bye. Oh, scratch that temporarily. The moment somebody calls a friend of a friend out of a debate and an argument, what are you, autistic or what? You've crossed the line. I said to this individual, you've had too much to drink, you need to leave. Thank you very much. I appreciate and respect you taking my command. Obviously you knew you fucked up. You didn't want to put your point to waste. He was kind of angsty about that. So I said, oh yeah, I'll drink it. Once she'd gone, I said, I'll pour this away, barman. I don't want this. This individual was talking in ways that they had a alcohol problem. I warned them how it creeps up on people. They kept making excuses. So I'm concerned a little bit, because I've seen it before. Same place will not be visited next week. It won't be visited the week after. It will be visited the week after that, though. Because next week I'm prepping for my week away in a favourite part of the country. And then, obviously, once I'm away, I won't be there. It'll be the week after. And it will be a Thursday about the same time. Whether they'll be there or not, I don't know. I think they might just be there for the conversation, and it looks for an idiot like me to have the conversation. That's not a to put me down necessarily, or them down, saying an idiot like me. everyone is the way they are. Again, I think it's a power as well as a detriment to find somebody to talk about subjects who's willing to talk about anything, anytime, anywhere, for any reason. I don't give two fucks what the conversation is. And he was willing to have the conversation. But maybe he's not as genuine as he tries to make out, because the answer apparently seems to be in drink for him. I put it on Twitter recently, as much as a bullshit shitstorm Twitter has always been, whether Elon owns it at all, or not, is that basically I put on Twitter, people are looking for answers, all the answers in other people. Some people are looking for all the answers in alcohol and other things like dopamine, this and that, addiction. But then they forget what they're fucking asking in the first place. Questions are more important than answers. Why? Because as adults, we forget how to imagine, or are trained to forget how being a childlike mindset, one of the best tools we can transfer from childhood to adulthood is imagination. Somewhere along the line, we lose our imaginations. Why is imagination important? Because it asks the questions and it puts emphasis on the questions. What if things were done this way, or reality was this way, or a situation was this way or that way? What if a terminology meant something else? For instance, somebody rang up the manager moaning about their granddaughter, saying things like the granddaughter accused a schoolchild of being a pussy and it needs something to be done about it, apparently. Fuck off, America. You had your woke got broke mentality. But the word, she replied with, wait for it, what do you mean, pussycat? It's not the mind things come out of necessarily, it's the mind that things fall into that is a problem here. I am a little bit pissed, but I'm confident enough that this is going to be uploaded. If you're seeing this, I've uploaded it after I sobered up a little bit. Cheers. Bye.